How I did 1 to 2 8 balls of cocaine a day and not die. A 8 ball of cocaine is 3.5 grams of coke. It's an eighth of a ounce of coke. An ounce is 28 grams, so there you go. That's where they come up with the name from. And then it's usually wrapped in a little ball, which makes it even more special. But how do you actually do this a day? And people will bring it up, like people do not get how I was doing 1 to 2 of these a day. And this is, again, my personal belief on why I was almost set up for failure with this drug like this. A lot of it had to do with what I was diagnosed early on in life. And again, addiction is different for everybody else. So this is how I did 1 to 2 of these a day, and how I could actually somewhat even function that way. If you're new to the channel, hit the like and subscribe button. What's up, guys? My name is Eric, and I'm a recovering cocaine and alcoholic addict. I was drinking 2 to 3 fifths of vodka a day, and I was doing 1 to 2 8 balls of coke a day. And this was during my peak of my addiction. This was from right around 2015 to 2017. I was able to, I progressed up to an 8 ball of coke a day. A lot of people, I know when I share my story, will look at me and be like, how'd you really do that? Well, one, diagnosed ADD when I was 13. And the drug that they put me on was Ritalin, which is a stimulant. Cocaine is a stimulant. At 17, I was re-diagnosed with ADHD, and I was put on Adderall, which is a stimulant, and amphetamine salt. And so I almost had a tolerance built up, I feel, to stimulants. And now, again, I'm not an expert when it comes to this, but I do feel that we do build up different tolerances to stimulants. And when it came to cocaine, I have a very obsessive, just like all addicts out there, personality. My fear of loss is huge when it came to drugs. My fear of losing that high was amazingly high. Same when it came to drinking. I couldn't just drink a few. I was afraid of losing that happy buzz feeling. And so I had to keep it going. Well, in doing that, it just got me drunker and drunker. I'm not processing the alcohol as quickly, and now I'm blacked out. Now I pass out. And the same happened with me with cocaine. And again, I didn't go from 0 to 100. It started off with, 3 or 4 lines, to all of a sudden I'm doing 3 or 4 lines a day, to now I'm doing 5 or 6 lines a day, to, as an addict, my brain went, well, these lines are about this big, maybe that thick. What if I do a bigger line? That's going to last me longer, because bigger is better as an addict. So now I'm doing bigger lines, and yeah, it gets to the point that your mouth is so dry and you are doing these lines and it's gagging you as you're going down, and you want to almost throw up. And that's where it's kind of like a big gacker. And I would start doing bigger and bigger lines, and it got to the point that I'm doing 4, 5, 6 lines in the morning before I go into work. And these lines now, doing a set of lines like that for me was going through 1 gram easily. And now I get into work. Now I got about 2.5 grams left. That wore off by the time I was done with my sales meeting as a sales manager. So what am I doing? I'm going in and doing bumps, and my bumps weren't just little, get a key, little key bump. My bump was I'm laying out 3 or 4 lines now, and I'm doing those off the back of a toilet. And now, next thing you know, I'm halfway through the day, and I've just blown through 3 some odd grams of coke. Because again, I had to keep that high. I had to keep that energy. And even though I feel like my head is detaching from my body, and my body is going numb, and I don't feel like I'm all there. I mean, I wish I could watch video of myself when I was high, because I know that I didn't act right and I didn't talk right, but nobody ever said anything. And then after that, now I'm almost out. So now I got to call the dealer and get more. And now I have more, and I'm now continually doing that. And it's like you build up this tolerance to it. And people don't really realize that. You build up a tolerance. Cocaine's stigma of being like a safe drug is not true. And I know people that do easily an 8 ball a day. And it's an expensive habit. I mean, you're talking, it's a couple $1,000s a week habit, easily, if you get obsessed with it and if you have the money to do it. And that's the thing, that when it comes to addiction, it's going to be different for everybody. And you will find people that are massively obsessed with drugs. And when you hit that massive obsession, you will stop at nothing to keep that high going. And that's how I was with cocaine. That's how I literally did one 8 ball easily in a day, was just by the size of the lines and the volume of them I kept doing all day long, drinking alcohol with it, drinking Red Bull with it. And to the point that I was able to eat with coke. I could be high on coke and drunk and stuff, and I would eat a lot of food still. And it became just something that was so commonplace for me that it was just another day. And you fall into this routine and you don't realize how much it's really destroying everything. And so, I mean, for the ones out there struggling, when somebody's doing drugs, there's no competition in who does the most and who does the least, whatever. I mean, drugs are drugs, and ruining your life is ruining your life. And so for the one out there trying to get sober right now, I share these stories just so that you understand that you're not alone and that you're not going through it alone. I mean, hit the like and follow button, comment down below, because the more that we share our stories, the more that it helps people struggling know they're not alone and not the only ones going through this. And that's the biggest key, is knowing that you're not the only one going through it and not the only one that's been through it. And if we've all been through it, so can you. So don't give up. You got this.